It hasn't started. You'll be all right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We are about to get ready and get underway here for the first sprint race of season 5. We have 2 sprint races a season, and this is going to be the first one for Tier 3 here at Bahrain, which is an interesting one. Cthulhu, this kind of setup, it really gives more advantage to those people that have better race pace. Is there anyone in particular you think could really shine today?
Um, I I don't know if there's anyone particularly that sticks out to me, but I do know seeing um Julian and Neros is back. Who's Julian been fighting? I feel bad that I don't know this off the top of my head.
Yeah, so Julian has had quite a few good battles this season with the likes of Vodka. Vodka, unfortunately,
He's
not
also
able to
not.
make it here today.
Yep, I do
Um,
remember about that. That's
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. Also, Lobster, one of those ones that is going to be a little bit of a wild card, because yeah, he's going to be one of those guys. He was in tier 2 at the start of the season, but didn't quite have the pace to be able to stick it there.
yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see where he fits in here in Tier 3.
And the one
So,
shot qualifying due to the sprint weekend
yes,
always makes
indeed.
this an interesting grid lineup for the sprint.
It does, yeah. And it's something that can tend to mix up the grid a little bit because of the fact that it's very easy to invalidate. And then that's it. You're going to be starting from the back of the grid. So it's something that can throw a bit of spanner in the works occasionally. So anyone that is on stream there, if you could just let me know what the audio balance sounds like. Hopefully it's all good.
So while we're waiting on this to load, have you caught any of the 24-hour of Le Mans?
No, I have not yet actually. How does the racing look? Have you seen any of it
So the
yourself?
racing's been fantastic. There was
Excellent.
one section where they had an onboard of a hypercar behind that NASCAR Cup car.
Oh, yes.
You couldn't see anything around that Cup car.
Interesting. It's a bit of a beefy car, isn't it?
It is. It is a wide boy.
It is a bit of a wide boy, yes, indeed. No, definitely. I think that'll be interesting to catch some footage of that. Um, so it's definitely one of those things that one of those series that have popped up on my radar a little bit more because F1 being a little bit more like WWE rather than pure racing.
Who
You
we have
know.
in front right now?
So at the moment it is we're kicking off immediately straight into turn 1 here. So R1 at the moment in the lead. But Kalinantovic taking the lead away then. So the AlphaTauri man currently quickest in the early part of this first sector. Suffocating doing a good job up there in second at the moment. Drac just in behind.
Drac has slotted up into second now ahead of Suffocating with
Yeah,
Suffocating and Viper third and fourth.
yeah, so the Alpha guy's doing very well here. But Kalinantovic holding on to it for now. Does he make a mistake here into turn 9? He does not. Nice and smooth through there. Suffocating back up into second place. Nero's down in fifth. I would expect him to be a little bit further up. Maybe just being a little bit conservative here. Lobster doing a good job up in P6 and 7, hovering around there. Jimmy having a good session at the moment there too.
Back and forth with Lobster and Jimmy for
Yeah,
sixth.
Nero's now making it up into P4. I wonder did Viper make a little bit of a mistake there, but Colin Antovic dominating this session at the moment. Really not being touched in this session. And he is then going to come across the line. And it is going to be a pull. It's a 28-7 for Julian. That is a very good lap time indeed. No one else
Look at
able to
that.
crack the 28s.
Look at that between Drac and Suffocating.
Yeah,
Oh my
that is
god.
absolutely insane. Really, really close margins there. So, Julian at the moment with a little bit of a pace advantage. Um, and then we have got Drac and Suffocating, who are going to be battling like mad then over the final two podium steps. Then we have got um, row 3 is going to be Viper Strikes and Jimmy B. Row 4, Lobster and Addy. Row 5, Tough Cookie and R1. And then row 6 is going to be Griggs and Formula 1. Formula 1, unfortunately, unable to set a time in that session. And Griggs, it looks like that was not really representative. Potentially a mistake being made there at some point. So, an interesting qualifying to kick off there with. Although, you could argue not very surprising. Julian really, really doing a very good job here in Tier 3 at the moment.
I think that is the only spot that isn't surprising.
For sure.
Is Julian's, but just I mean, yeah, there was I believe it was 4 tenths at the end between third and fourth.
Yes.
Um, Even then, that might have just been a slight mistake,
Yeah.
or between third and fourth,
Because
because it seemed like most of the lap, like you didn't actually know who was going to be second, third, fourth, or fifth.
yeah, definitely. All those positions seem to be chopping and changing around. So, yeah, definitely we're in for a good battle here because although one-shot quali kind of tends to, really make the good qualifiers shine, but then you're straight into a sprint race and full race. That is going to be more about making that race pace shine. So it's going to be interesting to see here today how everyone gets on. Let's just go across to, yeah, it's going to be, a pretty standard strategy here then. It's mediums. I think that's not very surprising. Bahrain tend to be one of those tracks where, tire wear is quite high, so it's a bit of a no-brainer that everyone would choose the medium tires. No one really going for the softs, but at the same time, the hard's just really too slow.
Well, so unless they've changed it, which I don't think they have, especially this late in the game cycle. Um, I forget. I tried it once to use hards in the sprint because it was one of the longer sprints, and then you don't get another set of hards for the race.
Yeah, yep.
So
If you have not chosen the harder tire set, then yeah, that is possible. You can end up with no hards for the race, so no fresh hards anyway. So yeah, that is something tactically as well you do need to think of. Really, that's why it is pretty standard practice that you would use the mediums. So we could see a little bit of a difference in the main event. But for now, it's going to be a straight fight in the desert. Duel in the desert. We're going to get our very own duel. Let's see how everyone gets on here. Everyone lining up in their box now. Doing some burnouts, getting some rear temperature in those tires.
oh no, what
Griggs,
happened to Griggs?
unfortunately, yeah, has invalidated. So, unfortunately,
I wonder if he was just a tough cookie. The same. This sounds like a lining up incorrectly in the grid box.
interesting. So, we are about ready to go here. We can't really see the lights. It's 5 red lights.
No.
And away we go. It's not a great start from Julian. Drac could be down the inside here. Suffocating could be down the outside as the lights block our view. This is not great at all. Thanks very much. Camera. No, everyone's miles away. Drac is going to go around the outside, but doesn't quite. Suffocating stays in P3. Tough Cookie down to P12 there. But everyone seeming to get through there relatively well. Hopefully everyone keeps well behaved then through this first lap. Nero's doing a good job up into P4. Let's go over to positions gained. So really the top 5, sorry, Nero's was P4. Thank you, Bubby. Top 5 holding position after that lap. Formula 1 is the biggest mover up there into, I was going to say up into P9, but unfortunately makes a mistake in turn 9 there and is down to P11. Jimmy B making a mistake as well and down to P12.
Griggs is now the big winner. Is up to P8, up 3 positions from the start.
Griggs, the McLaren man, doing a very good job indeed. Can he hold on to that? That is the question. Julian's lead already out to 0.8 of a second here on the first lap. Can Drac hold on? Nero's
seems to be a
also
characteristic that we've seen. I feel like I've seen it every week from Julian. Is he's not getting off the line. He's not the greatest, but essentially once it's gotten hooked up, and after turn 1, he's pretty much able to kind of run away.
Definitely, I do feel like I see that pattern as well. You know, he's not great at those race starts, but once he gets into that rhythm, you know, then he tends to kind of run away with it. So really, the drivers need to beat him in that really early phase of the race before he gets into the groove, because otherwise you're just not going to catch him. So it's going to be interesting now, as he then is able to now settle. He's out of that DRS zone. Drac's going to be under pressure from suffocating, so it's going to be interesting now how he just manages this race. Lobster is looking dangerous here, looking to get past the Ferrari in front. Oh, the camera direction is absolutely terrible at the moment.
I think they're using the former
I
Monaco.
I think they are. Yeah, because they keep choosing the wrong camera every single time.
Not a lot of. We got a 1 second gap between first and second, and then a couple others, but the field has stayed surprisingly pretty condensed to these first couple laps.
It has, and actually Drac has pulled that DRS back in again, so Drac may very well.
He's gonna get it down this second straight.
He is. Lobster making a move on Addy here, but can't quite make it down the inside. The Ferrari just superior on traction. Lobster arguably being held up by the Ferrari. Oh, he makes contact! Oh, that was a bit of a dive. I think Lobster may have to take the L on that one, and he's down in P12. The car is beached. He's going to need to reset he's going to need to reset the track, or it'll disqualify him.
God.
Hopefully, he makes the reset here. He will not take a penalty for resetting. But the game's going to just... that is really, really unfortunate for the Mercedes.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it just whatever way he seemed to spin there, it just put him up on the curb. Rowan, it does look like Lobster is running an Ayrton Senna kind of helmet, actually, yeah. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing any more of Lobster in this event, or in this sprint, rather. He will be back for the main race, but in P12. Really, really unfortunate for the Mercedes. He was doing really well there, and potentially a P6 on the cards. R1 looking dangerous. No, Griggs actually looking like he's going to make the move on Addy. Does make it. So Griggs making the move stick, doing what Lobster wanted to do. But now Addy is going to get the DRS to defend, but the Red Bull behind's going to make the move, and he makes it stick. So Addy down 2 positions then. Oh, but he tries to hold it down the inside of is that turn 6? That is brave. I don't know.
That's
Oh, that one is probably going to have to go to the stewards. That one was tough to decide whose fault that was. But the people really benefiting from the sprint here, Griggs, R1 and Formula. Up 5 positions, 3 positions, and 4 positions. And Richard about to make that another one here. He's looking very, very quick on the gearbox of the McLaren.
I like how we have Griggs, Rijad, and Formula are all plus. Unfortunately, Jimmy and Audi are minus, as well as Lobster, and then
Yeah, it's
Cookie
almost a mirror.
Cookie's just not moved. He's like watched all this passing and just hasn't changed spots.
Yeah. Oh, that's really strange.
Oh,
As Richard
Viper's
then,
overtaken Neros.
yeah. So Viper then, we did miss that actually.
They're still fighting. They're still
over
fighting.
there, start fighting. Neros could make a move here down into turn 4. He doesn't for now. He holds back.
Sides against it.
Yeah. Who's got the? Yeah, no one really has an ERS advantage. They're both about the same. And suffocating, pressuring Drac here as well. So we could see. Oh, Addy's boxed. So
No, wow.
has boxed
Yeah,
there.
wing damage.
Retiring from the session. So feeling like it is not worth continuing at the moment. Tell you who it is worth continuing for, suffocating. He could gain a position here. He may have the pace, the race pace over Drac.
I think Drac made a slight mistake somewhere because not too long ago that gap was about 1.2 seconds.
Yep, I think you're right. Drac is running a very nice helmet as well. As Kalinantovic then setting the fastest lap of the sprint so far with a 31.2.
We don't give fastest lap points in the sprint, do we?
Nope, that is correct. We do not, only for the main event. Formula 1 making a move up into P7, passing Griggs.
So Neros was going to get another run on Viper. He got it down to 2/10, and
yeah, he
just
did.
decided against it. Wasn't quite where he wanted to be.
I wonder, is Nero's using a much higher wing setting than Viper, and he's just not quite able to get enough of a run.
Yeah, that would be interesting. See. Although now that Red Bull P6 is starting to join that fight between Viper and Nero, so them fighting is holding each other up.
Yep, Rajad could get himself into that battle. Suffocating, looking very good here on the exit of the final corner. It's below half a second.
Julian with his fastest lap after fastest lap.
Yeah, he's just pumping them in. Oh, suffocating!
Who says you can't hot lap while racing?
Yeah. Always hot lap, yep. Suffocating there in the process of trying to attack Drac. Try say that 5 times fast. Crashed into the back of him there. Yeah, I know, exactly. Let's take a look at those Red Bull.
Surprisingly following really well through that S section.
He is.
In dirty air.
He might have higher wings as well.
Even higher wings than
Nero's.
Nero's.
Higher, yeah. Or just has a really good feel for the car, because he's got a very good run on Nero's here.
But they both have
Nero's
DRS open, so I wouldn't imagine that it would have made that big of a difference there.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because Nero's can't get past Viper. But Nero's probably then can use the DRS to defend against the Red Bull. So, oh, never
Ooh,
mind.
kept it out the wall
Unfortunately,
though.
he did. Thankfully. So a lot of his hard work there going to waste. Unfortunately, he does lose three of the positions he did gain. He's still got 2 more laps to gain that back, but that means then Suffocating does make the pass. Oh, we missed that. Suffocating making the pass for P2. Now, can he get away as Viper Strike's also making the pass on Nero's? Or was he defending?
Neros has been attacking Viper.
Yeah. So, both Alphas doing a really good job here. Suffocating up into P2. Viper Strike's holding on to P4.
Jimmy B in Formula 1.
Jimmy and Formula 1 going side by side. That is dangerous. But they keep it nice and safe.
Wow.
Very good. Brilliant racing here for P6. And Formula then is going to have to try again. Still the man with the most positions gained. Up 5 positions. He was not able to settle up in quali. So he's making his way back through the field.
That thing, Klinovich is the Verstappen of T3.
Yeah, pretty much. This could very well be a pretty dominant display here from Julian. But it depends, you know, whenever the... okay, there are some points here, but the big points are in the next session. And we have to go through another race start, so it's going to be interesting to see. Nero's again just struggling to get that top speed. He might have it here. He doesn't. He tries to go for the send, but it's just not enough. He's got the pace in the corners, but he just doesn't have that straight line speed. And I think it might be the same with Drac here as well. The Alphas, I think, have just gone for a really low downforce setup here in order to overtake and defend from being overtaken. So the Alpha's doing a very good job. Oh, I think Rajad actually has lost even more positions.
Yeah.
As he spun again, he's down into P10, so all of that work in the earlier laps, unfortunately, going to waste.
I don't know if he spun again. I just wonder if he was having an issue trying to cool his tires down after the original spin.
Yeah, maybe so. That is a very good point, actually. But Drac here is going to be right on the tail of Suffocating.
This is going to be...
Is he going to have enough juice?
Not his last real chance, but...
Yeah.
This is...
As late as he can probably get, he's going to send it. He's sent it. Can Suffocating make the switch back? He's gonna get... Is he gonna get DRS? He's not gonna get DRS.
I don't think he is.
No, I think...
he did.
He did. So Drac did make the pass. He's back through! Suffocating back through for P2. There's only one more DRS straight then for Drac to take advantage of.
I was going to say, he was definitely not DRS chicken, but he definitely got Charles Leclerc.
It wasn't, yeah. He really did. Very respectful from both drivers, but Drac essentially gifting DRS back to Suffocating. And this DRS straight arguably is not long enough, so it's not really going to do much. As I still get screen freezes. Nice. That needs fixed for tomorrow. And Nero's not able to make it past Viper either, so both Alphas then will have made up a place on the grid, as well as scoring some tasty points. Julian then wins the sprint. Suffocating is going to come home P2.
Won it by 6.9 seconds.
Yeah,
Jesus.
wow. Very, very good stuff then from Julian. Just goes to show when he's in the groove, he is very tough to beat. Drac then comes home P3. Viper keeps that P4 away from Nero's. Drac and Nero's both dropping a position from their original qualifying position. So let's see what they can do in the main event. Formula 1 there. Yep, ending up with the most positions gained. I think it's a little bit too early to say who the driver of the day is, but okay, right. Let's see results of the sprint.
Driver of the sprint definitely has to go to him.
Driver of the sprint. Yeah, I mean he didn't set a foot wrong, and gained a lot of positions. So yep, definitely. Rum and Monkey, of course, we're in good fettle. We've got some absolutely brilliant racing here on tonight. So why would we not be? We do enjoy our racing, and glad to have you on the stream. And actually, Rum and Monkey, have you joined through Twitch? Are you actually on the Discord server? Good job. I don't recognize your any Discord name for Rum and Monkey.
I mean, there are some people that just use different screen names.
No, I know. Yeah. Oh, you are. Okay, cool. I'm also trying to suss out if we are getting natural views through Twitch or if they're all just coming from the server, because it would be cool to start getting some natural views through Twitch. I think we do pop up on like suggested for like racing or whatever. Every night, big up the Alpha Boys. Yes, Webby, very much. The Alpha Boys did do very, very well. Yeah, sorry, I'm chatting about Twitch. We should be discussing the race, shouldn't we? You guys don't mind as long as I'm talking about something. Yeah, it'd be nice to see some natural kind of growth through Twitch. Oh, you follow Phoenix. Excellent. Super.
Let's see what tire strategies we got.
Yes, let's see. That is a very good... Ooh, very interesting! So we've got the top four here, and P9 and P10 going for the hard tires. So they're going to try and go long at the start of the race. Then we've got a couple in behind: Nero's, Jimmy B, Formula 1, and the Griggs, all going for the medium tires, along with Lobster. They want to make up a couple of positions at the start. And then try to box early and get on those hards. And then we've got one.
I actually like... I know I have the one soft. I do like that call from Nero's.
Yeah, I think that is a reasonable call from Nero's. I think Nero's has to do something different. And to go on a different tire set to the Alphas in front. I think it puts him in the battle for the podium. If he had have just went hards, I think he would have struggled. Because he just doesn't quite have that advantage over the Alphas.
It'd have been another sprint race.
Yeah, for sure.
For the front five.
So, yeah, definitely. I think that is good to see. And Nero's is definitely then one to watch as the strategies then fall into place. It's going to be interesting to see how Julian gets it off the line with those hards. It might have been a good idea for Julian to actually go for the mediums, get the better start, because he seems to be just that little bit weaker on the starts, and then just use the mediums to run away. Yes, okay, you do have to then box earlier, but at least then you're less likely to get a bad start. But let's see. It's certainly not a guarantee. And the drivers around him are also on hards. Yes.
Great camera angles.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful camera. Ooh, Viper!
Viper's tires get reset.
Yeah, they're gonna be cold.
No.
They're gonna be stone cold boys.
All right, well, here we go. 5 red lights.
Yeah, and we can't freaking see.
Oh, now we're at 5. I can see a little bit from Julian.
Yeah.
And green.
I think Julian got a little bit of wheel spin there. Drac has nailed it off the line, as has Nero's. And we can't
Great
see.
camera angle. Great
Oh,
camera angle again.
freaking camera, and they're gone.
Oh, who's around?
Oh no! Suffocating is
Suffocating.
around. He's down the back of the grid. Viper Strikes up to P2. Formula 1 up to P3. Nero's not making any positions up there. Addy up to P6 on those soft tires. Lobster doing a good job up to P7. But Suffocating all the way down to P11. And, oh, one Ferrari takes out the other Ferrari. That might need checked afterwards as well. Addy all the way up to P6 on the soft tires is now down to P12 after contact with his teammate. Drac losing positions then at the start of this
Formula
race.
1 all the way up to P3.
Wow,
Good
absolutely
Lord.
incredible launch from the Haas man. But yeah, Webby saying there that Formula 1 potentially making contact with the driver ahead, so Formula 1 then potentially could be in the steward's office after this race. Lobster and Drac going side by side here. Lobster has the tire advantage. Is he going to get it? He's going to have to run Drac out wide as Rajad then spinning in the foreground there. Rajad really struggling with traction at the moment. Looks like Lobster, for the moment, has that battle won and done. Suffocating up to P7 right now. Not where he wants to be, but he's making progress. Jimmy B is going to try and make a move on Tough Cookie. Round the outside of turn 1. Oh, screen freeze at just the wrong time. Jimmy B, with those medium tires, gets that done. Oh, but Cookie's going to come back, though. But the superior traction on those medium tires then, getting it done.
Ooh, that's early already.
Yeah,
3 second time penalty.
Very,
oh my god!
early indeed. Yeah, I think it's because of how wide Tough Cookie went. He really took the Hamilton line there. Ben, do you mean does Suffocating have damage? I'm not sure. Let's just see if Suffocating.
I'm checking now.
It doesn't look like he's got visible damage. No damage for Alpha. Okay, that is good news. We've got confirmation then that we do not have any damage for any of the Alphas, so we can see them go racing. Suffocating still on the optimal strategy. It's going to be tough now to fight for a podium, but he's in there as Addy losing traction there. Coming up to the start of Sector 3. And Julian now really going to start pumping in those fastest lap times.
Formula 1 goes a little deep into turn 1, giving Nero's a chance.
Side by side. He makes contact with Nero's. That means Formula 1 is around. I don't know. I cannot confirm if they did make contact or not. But it looked potentially like they did.
It did look potential, and then I also have the stream up. It gives me just enough of a delay to look back
Suffocating.
Over.
Sorry to cut across you there. Suffocating has made a mistake into turn 4 and is rapidly dropping positions again. It's going from bad to worse for the Alphas here.
And it rains, it pours.
That is exactly it. He was on a good recovery there, unfortunately.
Nero's trying to take advantage of his tire advantage at the moment, fighting back.
He wants to get past Viper as early as possible. Lobster doing a good job as well, up to P4 on his mediums.
Yeah, incredible just drive from him. He's kept his nose clean, kept out of everything.
And if Lobster can
what
keep
is
it
that?
up,
8 positions? Yeah, 8 positions gained.
Yep, because he was P12 here. It definitely is going to be interesting to see how he gets on here. He could very well potentially put himself
Nero's with the DRS. Does he
There he goes.
Does he
just
give it
superior.
to?
Oh, but Viper doing the switchback.
But
But
who has
who's
it
gonna
on
get
the
the
second
DRS?
straight?
Nero's. Nero's has got it.
Nero's.
And Drac is going to overtake
Oh, they're
Lobster in
fighting
the
for it.
background here as well. So Nero's through into P2. Drac through into P4. So Lobster not quite able to stay ahead with that tire advantage. So he's going to have to hope to follow the Ferrari now. Maybe attack a little bit later into this race. Let's bring up the telemetry. Lobster is quite low there on ERS. Drac has got almost a full tank here. Viper doing well on ERS at the moment as well.
Nero's at 44%.
So Viper with a little bit
There's
of
a
the
little,
advantage
yeah.
over him then.
There's a little difference.
Little difference.
Let's see. I was gonna see because I have the lap delta up, and Neros was up almost 2/10, and so I was like, "What's the fastest lap difference?" And even with that, he's still 2/10 off of. Oh,
Yeah, there's Jimmy
oh my
B
God.
though, with the
4/10.
32.6. Okay. So Jimmy B looking to make some moves here. Lobster making some moves. He gets back
Audi
past
is
Drac.
spun.
Adi, I think, really struggling with rear temps at the moment. Potentially.
This not gonna last long.
I wonder, yeah, has he gone max rear tire pressure and forgotten to change it?
That's possible.
Yeah, that is very symptomatic of that issue. Or, yeah, Ben Cassie asking there, does he have rear damage? That is a potential as well. You're going to lose a lot of rear downforce if you have rear damage. So I think he did get into some contact because he was in the middle of the pack at one point. He made up a lot of positions early in the race.
Yeah, I wonder if there was anything in that T1 cluster we had.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Retiring from the session. I assume the car is just currently undrivable. Which
It's
is sad to
unfortunate
see. Yeah, it is. But understandable if the car is feeling undrivable. Drac is very close here on the rear of Lobster. These guys could end up battling for a few laps here. Jimmy B sitting in the background though, waiting for this all to blow up. We could end up 3 wide into turn 1 at this rate. Drac making his way through. But that's going to give the DRS now back to Lobster. And Jimmy B's going to get a double dose. Or Rum and Monkey, as we say in the good Northern Ireland, a double dunt.
I think in the long run, I think actually Viper not trying to fight with Neros right now might help Viper because Neros is rather low on ERS. And
Yeah.
Viper still has over 70%.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, I think Viper, is potentially going to be better overall. He's going to get the mediums towards the end of the race when fuel is lower. And he can take more advantage of that low fuel. So, yeah, I think it's still advantage Viper. But the bigger a gap that Neros can build up here, then the better it's going to be for Neros at the end. But definitely something to watch. Something else to watch. The battle for P7. We have got 5 cars that are in an absolutely huge cluster here. We've got 2 very interesting battles, actually. The battle for P3, which is between 4 people, and the battle for P7, which is between 5. These guys are going to be chopping and changing position quite a lot. Rajad currently leading this quintet of drivers at the moment. Oh, Formula 1! has spun out of turn 2. The
Ooh, who
Greeks
did?
also getting involved in that as well.
Was it contact or just
I don't
unavoided
know.
spin?
I don't know because he was off screen at the time, so I can't quite tell. But good news for Suffocating, who is up to P8 now. And still reasonably within touch of the drivers ahead. It's still going to be very, very hard for him to make any progress in this race. Yeah, it looks like it was just a spin for F1. And now Drac is very close to Viper here.
Almost pushing him through that corner.
I thought he made contact. These four guys are absolutely on top of each other. Jimmy B, extremely rapid down the back there, but can't make any progress because everyone in front is in a DRS train. Julian pulling back that fastest lap again. It's a 32.4 for the Alpha Man. Just stretching his legs out at the front.
Position?
Absolutely.
Maybe only one.
Dream start for the Alpha. Drac now making his way into P3. Can he hold it? Hearts versus hearts.
I think Viper's gonna get DRS that back down this.
Yeah, I think he is. Lobster,
straight,
no! Lobster
but...
doing well, but ending up facing the wrong way there. I think that was hashtag skill issue. Sorry, Lobster, but I know you don't mind. I think
Viper
that was...
backs out of it going into this S section.
Yeah, I think he's
smart to do. It's very difficult and dangerous to go through that side by side.
Definitely. And I think Viper as well knows, whereabouts his pace lies. He probably knows he's going to be in the battle here for P4. A podium is, probably going to come down to Julian Neros and Drac here. Jimmy B wants it as well, though. Would have loved to have seen how Lobster would have dealt with this as well, because he would have been in this little battle. 31.8 from Julian.
Jesus.
He is bringing that lap time down rapidly. Jimmy B now going to be well within striking distance of Viper. And he's got that medium tire. Well, I was going to say medium tire advantage right now, but Cthulhu,
at this point, I don't necessarily know that it is an advantage anymore.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's close if not past the switchover point now, where the hards are going to have a bit more advantage.
Because I believe the pit window was 13 to maybe 18?
Yeah, so the mediums are going to be coming towards the end of their life at the moment. So Jimmy B not quite able to make an attack on this lap. And Viper's still getting that defensive DRS from Drac anyway.
And he's staying just close enough to maintain that DRS.
He is indeed.
Sector 2. Has Lobsters... Maybe that was Tough Cookie just spun that time.
Yep, I think it was Cookie.
Unfortunately.
Lobster is now up to P8.
Trying to do quick calculations without having to change it. I don't want to miss this battle.
Yep, exactly. Because this one's going to be a spicy one.
Now, oh, did he get under before the DRS detection zone? Is Viper going to get it down this straight?
He does! He just got it! So he's going to have defensive DRS here. Hello, Irishman. Ooh, it's your first time chat. Doing very well indeed. You're getting to see some very good racing here.
Tier 2 is tomorrow at
6 p.m. UK time. Because I know he's UK time, so...
I was trying to do the conversion. I was like, I know it's like 1 o'clock for me. I was like, I don't want to say 1 because that's not what time he is.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Irishman, I know who you are. Yes, I think that should be okay for you to reserve. I would ask a couple of TPs if they need anyone. I suspect there probably will be a few. It's tough to get people to drive at the moment
Jimmy
because
B within within
he's
3 tenths,
close.
2 tenths. I don't think he's gonna get close enough. Is he gonna dive?
Mm.
Viper gave him the room like he was going to dive,
Yeah, he
but
did. He did. I think Viper kind of just expected the dive to come in there.
Julian has been making these tires work. Here on lap 11, and he has a 10-second gap.
Yeah, he's just so comfortable out there, like we were saying. Once he gets into that groove, he's just going to keep pumping in those lap times. Yeah, F1 Manager is a better driving game than F1 22. Yep, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. If F1 23 is not a major improvement. No!
Oh, Jimmy got spun around by Viper!
Yeah, Viper making contact with Jimmy. I think Viper may have to take the L on that one. Obviously, it'll need to be reviewed by the stewards, but I think Viper did cause that, which is unfortunate. Oh, what were you saying earlier about when it rains it pours? Yeah, right now we are in a bit of a thunderstorm for Alpha.
Yeah,
Such an amazing sprint race, but yeah, this main event just hasn't gone well at all.
Ooh, that was interesting. I don't know if Lobster moved left while under braking or what happened, but Jimmy had to take a very, very odd swerve to not hit him into the braking zone of 8, I believe.
Interesting.
I don't know if it was a late or a move under braking or if it was just not expected line taken, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be interesting. Maybe that's something we need to check post-race as well. Ooh, Drac now. Yeah, I think the Hearts definitely are the tire with the advantage at the moment. Drac is much quicker than Nero's.
Clawing that time gap back.
He is. Suffocating then makes his way past his teammate. Down into turn 1. As Formula 1 is the first to make a scheduled pit stop then.
The only thing I can think of is that he's going to throw on the hards and go to the end. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. So that makes sense.
We have
It is.
Drac making any more progress on
It looks like that
Nero's?
gap is kind of stabilized in there around about 6/10. I think now that he's got close to Nero's, he's either saving battery or potentially just can't quite get close enough in that dirty air.
Say Nero's has more ERS now than Drac does. Drac's at 16% and Nero's is at 54.
Interesting.
So I wonder if that's what's also somewhat led to the closing of that gap. Is I wonder if because Nero's at one point was down to like 10%.
That definitely is a potential. But here's Drac gonna send it down into turn 1.
Who's gonna get
elbows
it
all the way out? Oh, Nero's gonna hold on the inside, and he keeps it. Wow.
And gets the DRS.
And gets the DRS. So he's gonna be able to, but somehow, Drac with the superior top speed, he's not gonna be able to hold it. Nero's stays ahead then. So for the moment, Drac still in P3.
I wonder if it's calculated of it's not worth it right now because he knows Neros is gonna have to pit first.
I imagine so. There's no point sending an absolutely insane dive on lap 13 here whenever someone is highly likely to pit next lap.
or with it, at least in the next couple, and you have at
Yo,
least
having
probably
said
five.
that though,
Ooh,
that is a send. But
these S's
he's just
are.
kind of costing himself time to the cars behind and in front. Because he's pushing Nero's wide here.
I don't think they're gonna catch the car out in front.
No, I think that is pretty much one and done, isn't it? Yeah, it's more about the battle behind here. Can Rajad make up any time on these guys in front as Nero decides not to box, so he's clinging on to those mediums as long as he can.
And Jack's gonna try it again. Though this time he is fully in front, coming out of turn one.
Yep, this time he gets it. Jimmy B and Lobster, them, the other two medium runners, are in for their stop. And Nero's can't quite make it back past under DRS.
I wonder if Nero's then not being able to get back past, then thinks this lap, all right, I definitely don't have the tire advantage anymore. Let me go ahead and pit.
I think that's probably exactly what's going through his mind right now.
Rajid is slowly pulling that gap down.
Yeah, so he's definitely in contention there.
I think he was 4.4 at about this time last lap, maybe 4.5. So he is pulling it down. He's not blowing barn doors off, but he's pulling it down.
It's coming down. Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see. Can he get himself into that battle there for the podium?
Ben Drax pace, I think overall, had he not been fighting, I think he's like, probably 7 tenths. Well, no, because qualifying he was 2 tenths off.
Yeah.
Race pace, I mean, maybe half a second, realistically.
Yeah, we could go and see. Let's see.
Let me see the
Fastest
laps.
Yeah. So, Julian fastest lap 31.8, Drax 33.1.
33.1.
So
they're definitely not doing that the entire time.
No.
We're not able to see their lap by lap times, unfortunately.
That is another feature that would be absolutely great if you could bring up. Like an average lap time kind of thing. Or
you mean like how ACC has?
Yes, precisely. ACC has got absolutely brilliant broadcasting capabilities.
Still didn't pit.
Yeah, he's really taking these as long as he can. I find that quite. I wonder, is he just thinking, let Drac pull him along as much as possible so that he spends as little time as possible on the hards? Not sure.
But I feel like if you go too much longer, you having the hards at the end of the race
versus
isn't
mediums
going to negate.
Yeah.
Or will be a bigger negation of the fact that they're going to have mediums.
Yep, I would agree.
Because you won't get to that crossover point.
Yep.
Now he dives in.
Now he's in. So let's see whereabouts he drops down to. He's probably going to be in clear air. I think he was going to be in clear air anyway.
But say probably P6. Unless anyone else behind him pits. Which it didn't seem like anybody did. So clear air and P6. It might be fighting Cookie. No, I think he's a little too far back.
Yeah, I think you are right. It could be close down in turn one. And Nero's now has to get these tires up to temperature.
Yo, coming out at 70 degrees.
Yeah. $70. They would burn your hand if you touched them, but ooh, they're so cold. So
I mean, that is for tires. That is pretty cold.
Yeah, it's true. So it's going to be interesting now to see what Nero's pace is like now that he has come out of the pits. Suffocating, actually, interestingly, is cutting that gap down to Rajad. So, Suffocating could still be in with a shot of a podium here if he's able to keep the pace up. Hopefully he can get himself into that battle. Looks like he's taking it down by about a tenth per sector approximately. He's within 2.2 now.
Oh, now he's in the pit.
Interesting. So Suffocating then the first of the hard runners to box. So let's see where he comes out. He's going to be directly battling Nero's here at some point. Because he's going to be on lovely fresh mediums. And pushing to catch up the Alpine driver. So Suffocating out into P7. And now, Suffocating now really needs to set the timing sheets alight.
So, does his teammate follow suit this lap? Because, I mean, obviously they were too close together the first lap to double stack.
Yeah, I think it's potentially a good idea to bring Viper in as well. There's no one really around that they could use Viper to hold people up. Nero's is too far back to use Viper for to hold Nero's up. So yeah, I think it's probably
Julian's in.
So our race leader then, well, he's pretty much got a free pit stop. He's gonna come out potentially P1, maybe P2.
He's gonna be P1 because Drax pitting. Yep. And
but
Rajad goes on.
So he may very well make it into. He doesn't quite make it into the lead.
Yeah, it was gonna be tight. I just,
it was,
but
yeah.
I mean, it was 17 seconds and then 5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he had just put in, a monster lap, he might have taken it.
Yeah,
but...
he might have done. Yeah.
So Rajad's the only one yet to no. Oh, Tough Cookies, and I was almost wrong, but no. So Rajad's the last one that needs to box.
Yes, indeed.
Viper's in.
Ooh. Nero's is right on the tail of Drac. So Drac boxed and only just came out in front of Nero's. But tire advantage now lies with the Ferrari man.
Yeah, but they may not be warm. They may not be quite up to temperature yet.
No, whereas Nero's are going to be lovely and toasty. So if Nero's can get ahead, he might be able to hold Drac up for a few laps. Make Drac use his medium tire advantage. Oh, careful of the weaving, guys! That might actually count as a third move. I think Drac may have made 3 there. But something to look at post-race.
ERS advantage as well.
Yeah.
50% to 20.
22.
He was just using it down that straight too.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're both going to use it out of that final turn.
Oh, yeah. You're going to absolutely abuse it now. So now, if you're Nero's, what do? Do you keep dumping your ERS in order to try and attack? Or try and save, wait for the medium tire and hard tire to flip over? It's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, I think you have to use enough, I think, to stay within the DRS because you have the slower tire.
I agree.
But you need to be able to have enough for the, I don't know, maybe last 2 or 3 laps where that switchover happens to try to take advantage. But that's hard to do.
It is. And finding that balance is going to be really tricky. And it looks like he's just dropped out of DRS. Is he going to get back in again by the end of the straight? He is. Well, it's
and
going
then
to be
immediately
tricky to
loses
stay there.
it.
Yeah, it's going to be very tricky to stay there now. Yeah, he's out of ERS. He's trying
I
everything
think
he
that
can to stay in that DRS zone.
that
As
that tire advantage right now is just ridiculous.
it is
As
for sure.
Julian does a 31-0.
Yeah, now that the Drax tires are all nice and warm, yep, he's going to be able to just run away now. So 1.3 gap now between Drac and Nero's. That is something to keep an eye on. What can Suffocating do? Can he use his medium tires to catch Nero's here? 5.3 seconds at the moment. Rigid still hasn't boxed as well. He's just clinging on there. I wonder, is Rigid going to go for the hard soft? Is he going to risk that strategy? It's a tough one to pull off. This is going to be one of those really interesting strategic type races. Suffocating has cut that gap now down to 4.5 seconds. It's jumping around a little bit, I think, because of the screen freezes.
I will say, so I wonder if, because obviously you said, I mean, it's obvious Rajat hasn't boxed yet, and if he is going to do that, hard to soft, I wonder if he's also going to try to steal fastest lap.
Yeah, he could be looking at that fastest lap then at the end of the race, but I think Julian's going to have enough of an advantage that he's going to be able to box towards the end of the race, take a free pit stop, bang on the softs, and take it back again. So, yeah, I don't think there's much point risking it for that. I think he's going to lose too much time. But let's keep an eye on him. He's losing a lot of time to Julian in front, but also Drac behind. Drac already cut that gap down to 16 seconds. Medium tire runners right now are absolutely rapid.
As you say, it's two 2/10, 3/10, just this lap that he's lost.
Yep.
I mean, obviously we know you have to pit, otherwise you get disqualified. So
The big old VSQ.
he's gonna. I think he's waited too long. I think he's gonna lose this shot at a podium.
I think you're right.
Because even if you pit now, I don't think the softs realistically last long enough.
Yeah, and there he goes. He is in the box now. Let's see what he does. Yeah, I think it's one of those weird situations. Yeah, he is going for the softs. I think these softs are just going to run out. You know, it's not going to be enough. He might lose position to Nero's here as well.
That's who I'm on. I'm on Nero's because that's who I was.
Yeah, he does. He might lose position to Suffocating as well, actually.
Suffocating.
He is.
He's waited too long.
Yeah. He might be able to battle back past Suffocating, but... Oh,
I don't think he's gonna...
Yeah, he's gonna have too much traffic. I think he's waited too long.
Who's his engineer? We gotta have a talk with him.
Yeah, we gotta talk with him. Yeah, exactly. But this is really interesting. We've set ourselves up for a good one. We've got Nero's in P3 on hards, Suffocating P4 on mediums, Rajid P5 on softs. So these guys are going to end up all on top of each other very quickly here. Gap's currently 2.2, 2.9, but they're going to start rapidly coming down very soon. Interestingly, not very many drivers with penalties. Tough Cookie, still the only driver with track limit penalties.
And he hasn't got another. He hasn't got another one, has he? Unless I'm mistaken.
No, I don't think he has. Let's just check just to be sure. Ooh, that one. Yep, it is still only 3 seconds. So, Yeah.
I mean, he got that one. He got it early in the race. It was like lap 2, and then
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't gotten another one. So
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, they've done well.
For sure.
I feel like this would have been one of the tracks that you would have seen a lot of track limit penalties.
Yeah, for sure. It's in my opinion, one of those tracks where it is very difficult to keep it within limits. It's very, very tempting to run over the line because there's just so much runoff here. So I definitely expected much, or many more track limit penalties than we have at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Let's keep an eye on it because currently we don't know how many warnings each driver has.
Suffocating's brought that gap down to 1.7.
Yeah, he
and
is.
Rajid down to 2 seconds flat.
Yeah, these guys are going to be on top of each other in no time, and then the battle for the final podium step commences. We have got 6 laps to go here. Julian way out in front, 22.4 seconds advantage. But Rajid has just set a purple sector 2 time.
He's 7.5 tenths up.
Yeah, he's absolutely smashed this one. We're probably going to see a fastest lap here. It's not. It's a 31.1.
He was a second faster than his previous best.
Wow.
And he's still not fastest lap.
That is interesting. It just goes to show the pace of Julian himself.
He's still a sorry, I was looking at that wrong. So he's actually less than a tenth off of fastest lap.
Okay.
In fact, he's less than 3/100ths.
Oh my goodness. That make him down just to
It's
ERS
close
usage.
to 3. It's like right at 3/100ths,
Yeah.
but it's just slightly less than 3/100ths.
Yep. And here we go then. This is the battle we've been talking about. 5 laps to go. Nero, Suffocating, and Rajad all right on top of each other, all on different tires. This is the interesting thing about the tire strategies now these days. You can use 3 different types of tire. Nero's goes massively wide. And that's going to put Suffocating right on his gearbox. As if he wasn't there already. Oh, Rajad is right on Suffocating's tail. He may... Oh, this is going to be insane. It's going to be 3 wide down in turn 1. Suffocating down the inside. He gets them moved on. But Rajad round the outside of both. Oh my days!
They just forgot about him!
Yeah, I think they did. I think they were too busy battling between each other, and Rajid just went, thank you, round the outside. Wow, absolutely wonderful move. That was beautiful from the Red Bull man. But it's not over yet. Can Suffocating and Nero's stay in range of the DRS? Those soft tires are going to wear out sooner or later. The mediums have got to start feeling like second-hand tires as well. The advantage may yet still come back to the harder tire compounds. Suffocating has lost DRS to Rajid, so for the moment...
Nero's with a 3-second time penalty, no!
Yeah, I think that takes Nero's then out of this battle for P3. Really unfortunate. You hate to see that happen.
You hate to see that being the deciding factor.
Yeah, for sure. We want to see it decided on track, but there we go. 3 seconds then for Nero's.
So I wonder if those softs really are already starting. I mean, I know he's still pulling away, but I was looking at...
Nero's sending it back past Suffocating! Sorry, cut you across there, Cthulhu.
No, that's definitely more
Oh!
interesting than what I was getting ready to say.
Ooh. And then there was contact. My goodness. Nero's putting it all on the line there, suffocating, nearly ending up facing the wrong way once again. Um, and, that was close. Oh, but I'm sure Cthulhu, whatever you were going to say, it would have been very, very important anyway.
No, but so I'm watching. I've stayed on Rajad, because I really thought he was going to take that fastest lap, and I guess there's
Yeah,
been just enough of degradation to keep him off of that.
I assume so,
Because
yeah.
even on that one where he had DRS down the back straight or the main straight and the second straight,
Yep,
and he still ended up like 4 tenths off of his previous best.
yep. So, it's going to be, I mean, the gap is now up to 3 seconds as a result of that battling with Nero's. So, Nero's may actually have given Rajad the podium here, but I think Rajad's going to be really, really struggling in the final couple of laps. It's going to be really interesting to see if Suffocating can do anything to get closer to Rajad. Heck, it's not over yet. Again, we still don't know what warnings people are on. You need to try and stay with that in that 3 second window in case someone gets a penalty at the end. You just never know.
This penalty, I'm surprised I didn't see anybody get out of all the ones, was a speeding in the pit lane.
Yes, that is incredible that everyone has stayed clean there.
I feel like this is one of the easiest tracks to get that on.
Definitely, because you're coming from the racing line and diving straight into the pits. Definitely, I would agree. Whereas the likes of Spa, you're braking for such a tight corner anyway. You're not that fast by the time you get to the pit line. So, yeah, definitely, I would agree. This is one of those ones where it is really tricky. And there we go, Kalinantovic with a 30.6, potentially putting
Yeah,
that
he's
fastest
just
lap
like,
just
I'm
out
just
of
gonna
reach.
go ahead and take this
Yeah, he doesn't
and
even
make
need that pit
sure.
stop. He could have boxed 4 softs, but he doesn't even need to.
20. He's got a free pit stop.
He does.
He
He
could he
does.
could do it just to mess with everybody at this
Yeah,
point.
he could. Yeah.
Do the all tire compound challenge and
Yeah.
still win the race.
That's right. Yeah. Bang some wets on, in
Oh
Bahrain.
jeez. I don't know about that, but at least all the dry
All the
compounds.
dry compounds. Yeah. Now that would be nice to see. I wonder if was it like will we see the softs in F123? They're supposed to be better, so that a soft medium medium is comparable to
This
the
medium hard that everybody's running in F122.
yes. So based on previous qualifying results, yes, he was a tier 3 driver, but with recent qualifying results, his pace has picked up, a little bit. We didn't have an awful lot of data on Julian before, but since he wasn't picked up by any team principals, then the best tier that Julian can be put into is tier 3.
I mean, and I would say I think this. Ooh, Griggs with a time penalty.
Ooh, unlucky. It's not going to affect his position at all. He's just in the fringes of points at the moment.
Well, I'll also say it looks. I will say this. I'll say it looks worse than it is, but I mean his. From round one, we haven't had vodka back. Unfortunately, he's had some family stuff, it seems, and that was the main fight that we were watching between
Yes,
Julian and vodka.
yes. Yeah, so Ben, it depends if a team principal hasn't picked you up for tier 1 or tier 2, then yes, the fastest remaining drivers will go to tier 3, then the next 20 drivers, tier 4, and if we had have had tier 5 for this season, then the next 20 would have went below that. But because it's the end of this cycle, it's very difficult to convince people to drive this game at the moment. So we've only got the 4 tiers for it now. Tier 4 had 20 drivers in it though. Just absolutely insane.
So has Tier 4
Oh,
gone back to open?
no, tier 4 is
Oh,
seeded. We have the tier
it is.
5. Yeah,
Proceed.
we were gonna have a tier 5 seeded and then a tier 6 open, but
Some might find T6.
yeah. I know exactly.
You'd have had to have put Tier 3 on Sundays as well.
Yeah, would have been insane. But talking about insane, Julian Kalinantovic wins this race by 28 seconds. Drac then comes home P2. Rajid nearly gets P2 with one more lap. He could have potentially got P2 there. Really making those softs last at the end there. Showing us we were wrong about tire strategy. Suffocating then. Will be disappointed with a P4, but still some good solid points there today. Nero's coming home with a P5. Jimmy B doing it well in there in P6. Viper Strikes bringing it home P7. So a relatively solid double points finish for the Alpha Boys. Lobster then bringing it home P8. Arguably could have had a couple of more positions, but as a result of a spin mid-race, did lose a few positions. Formula 1 then bringing home P9. Tough Cookie in P10, and the Griggs is going to round out the positions in P11. Yeah, absolutely brilliant drive from Kalinantovic. And that was, in my opinion, the game selects Rajid, but from my point of view, I think Julian has to get the driver of the day for that one. Just did not put a foot wrong in either the sprint or the full race, and just absolutely smashes it. So for me, that's another Julian driver of the day. What's Cthulhu's pick for driver of the day?
For the whole day, yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you with Julian, but definitely for that race is definitely Rajad.
Yeah.
P10 to P3, definitely
That's
a
that's impressive, especially using softs. Softs in F122 are notoriously difficult to use in the race scenario. So to be able to pull that off, is very impressive indeed. So absolutely brilliant stuff. So let's move over then. Let's see. We've got. Let's bring Julian in. Julian, an absolutely brilliant drive there today. We thought during both starts there was a potential for losing some positions, but you held position and then just got into a groove and drove away. And definitely you're our pick for driver of the day today. Yeah, just let us know what your thoughts are.
uh, Brilliant race today. Phew, with no rivals, I expected to fight with someone, but dominant performance, Grand Slam,
Yep.
unbelievable.
Yep, it is. It's pretty much one of those pretty boring races out there on your own. Yep, no one really challenged you there today, but either way, it's good solid points. It improves your position in the championship. And to take the sprint win and the main event win, that is, and fastest lap as well. Actually, that takes absolutely maximum points. So I'm sure you're happy with the result.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really happy. I really thought that Red Bull was take my fastest lap
Yes.
on the top tires.
He was close at one point, but then you improved on those mediums and put it out of range. So yeah, still maximum points there today. So brilliant stuff.
Thanks, man.
All right. Congratulations, and we'll put you back in the waiting room. And next up, then we'll talk to our man in P2. So Drac, quite a an interesting event then for you today. The sprint was a little bit more difficult than I assume you would have hoped. But a nice clean race. But that Red Bull was rapid at the end. Were you a little concerned towards the end he would catch you?
Yeah, thanks, Mav. I think the sprint. I thought that I had cleared. I had a good gap to suffocating, but I think suffocating had a real good second half. He came back to me, and I think he did a good race over there. So I think I just didn't have enough pace to go ahead. So I think he was a better driver over there. I could have used a bit more ERS, a bit more strategically.
Yes.
I think I used a lot. So
Yep.
that was about the sprint. Talking about the race, I was a bit worried because 6 laps towards the end, I had cramp on my left
Oh
calf.
no. Oh no.
Right properly. I
Yeah.
started losing so much of time towards the breaking points.
Yeah. I've done that
Luckily, I
before.
had a very big gap, so maybe another lap, I think he would have had it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very. I think it was point 0.8 of a second at the end there. So, yep, I'm sure you were very happy it was only a 29 lap race.
Exactly, not a
Yes,
30
yes.
lapper.
Excellent. No, that is absolutely brilliant. A brilliant result for yourself today. Then some very, very good points. But Julian really, really dominated that today. Do you think maybe with some of the other tracks on the calendar, you'll be able to challenge him at any point, or is he a little bit just out of touch at the moment?
No, I think he's a little bit out of touch. I did try in the 3 races. I think he's at least half a second quicker than me in given any track. And especially the last track that we did, that was one of my strongest tracks, and I was not
Yeah.
able to catch him. So
Okay.
I believe he's probably a tier two pace.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we should not give excuses. It was a very tremendous drive from him without any mistakes there.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, he just dominated. Yeah, but if you just ask my POV, I believe he's much quicker than our tier drivers. Yeah,
Definitely, definitely. No, I think, he has a good future here in Phoenix, and I think, he could potentially then move up once some team principals spot his skill. So, nope, definitely. But it's good to recognize that, and some great words about your competitor there. So, no,
yeah.
absolutely brilliant. But still, absolutely excellent result for you today. And some great points to add. So no, brilliant and good to see you out there on track today.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you, and
thank you very
congratulations to
much.
him. As well.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
All right, so we'll just wait another moment, see if anyone else gets to the waiting room. Um, but yeah, interesting stuff there today. We've seen in the first 2 rounds, Julian didn't quite have it as easy as he did there today. He had to actually battle, and it was close the whole way through the race. Hopefully, whenever his competitors return for round 4, we can see some of those battles coming in. But you know, yeah, that was just absolutely dominant from Julian there today.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And as you say, I think the sprint race just I won't say exaggerated, but exposed it a little bit. Um,
For sure.
as to just him not having his main rivals shows just that he is essentially that much better than all the other people that were there. Not saying it doesn't. I mean, there's still great racing throughout the field, but there's
For
no
sure.
real battle at the front that we like to see as racers.
Definitely, definitely. And it'll be good to see once Lobster gets into that fight as well. He's stepping down from tier 2 to tier 3, which is a more comfortable pace for him. So it definitely will be interesting to see once Lobster gets up to speed. He was in there in that battle. He's going to be fighting for podiums. So he's definitely someone to keep an eye on as well as the season progresses. Could be then taking points away from the Alpha Boys. Especially our current defending tier 3 champion, Suffocating. So plenty to watch out for here within tier 3. But with no one else looking like they're gonna be popping in here, do you have any thoughts to round off with, Cthulhu?
I mean, it was a great race today overall. Definitely now looking forward to seeing what all these drivers bring next week for the Canadian race.
Definitely. But anyway, that's going to be it then from myself. I have been Maverick, and we have had Cthulhu join us today. Wonderful. And
I didn't know what you wanted me to say.
I was just giving you a little bit of a sign off, But,
I
right.
don't need one.
Okay. I have had Cthulhu, who doesn't need a sign off. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Webby. Absolutely no problem at all. You know I love commentating. And I hope you join us then for Tier 2. We will have a stream for Tier 2. We may not have one for Tier 1, unfortunately, this round. We will do our best to bring you that content if we can, but we may not be able to this week. Don't you dare say uwu in my DMs. But
Somebody clip that.
oh no! So we will definitely have a tier 2 stream. So we'll see you there. It will be myself in the com box, and the guest will be question mark. So join me then tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time for that. We'll see you then. Bye.